Become, sir.
Yes, come.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, ma'am.
Morning. Have a seat.
Thank you, sir.
Shall we call you Asad?
Yes, sir.
All right. Asad, you are from Aligarh,
Yes, sir.
and I can see that you have done mechanical engineering
Yes, sir.
and anthropology is your optional.
Yes, sir.
So, why did you choose anthropology as your optional? Is it more scoring or because you have an engineering background? So, was it on advice or it was by choice?
Sir, this dates back to my very first attempt, and I had just 7 months to prepare for my attempt. So, sir, I wanted to pursue mechanical engineering, but it was vast, and for me, it wasn't possible to complete that in that short span of time. So, I was searching for guidance for a subject that I can cover. So, sir, I had a friend who was preparing with the subject, and then I went through the syllabus, and it was very interesting for me uh, at that point of time, and that is why, sir, I decided to go ahead, and I have enjoyed reading the subject, sir.
Oh, acha, great. Okay, so writing blogs on Quora,
Yes, sir.
playing percussion instruments. Okay, your foreign service is the first choice.
Yes, sir.
Any particular reason why you have opted for IFS?
Sir, one of the reasons is that this service provides me with an opportunity to represent the world's largest democracy and 1.4 billion people, their interest, be it economic, political, cultural, at an international fora. So that is one thing that attracts me toward this service. Sir, apart from that, there was also personal experience. So in my college, I was very good friends with a person from Maldives who came to my college through an international exchange program of ICCR. And so through him, I got to know about the India's outreach to the neighboring nation and how India's foreign policy is impacting the lives not only within the country but even beyond it. And so that is when I got interested in this service and started reading about it, sir.
What was the impact of India's foreign policy that he was talking about?
Sir, he is someone who came through an ICCR scholarship program to study in MNNIT Allahabad to pursue civil engineering, sir. So his father, who was a cancer patient, was being treated in a medical hospital at Bangalore. So this speaks about the medical tourism and the medical facilities that India provides to the neighboring nations and to the world, sir. So apart from that, both his sister was studying medical science in Manipal University, and they were intending to go back to Maldives, and even he went back to Maldives to work as a civil engineer there, sir. So, sir, the institutes of our country, which are of good reputation and good, the Institute of Sir Excellence of our country, they are training these young people from the neighboring countries, and I found it very inspiring.
Okay, tell me, the youngsters of today,
Yes, sir.
they have uh, they have lost the practice of savings because of the use of plastic money so much. Don't you think that this should be reversed? Because in the olden days, people used to save money for the rainy day, but now the tendency amongst the youngsters is to spend as much as possible. So, do you think it's the right thing?
Sir,
More with the help of a credit card because it's ready money available.
Sir, as economy is going digital, like every other aspect of our life, so one of the factors that is playing here is the easy transactions that people do, and the perception of money has changed, sir. So when we perceive money as the hard notes that we have in our hand, that is the perception of money that people had before the digital revolution in economy came, sir. But now, as very rightly pointed by you, the consumerism is somewhere, sir. It's on the rise. So, however, it's not so bad for the economy too, because it's up to the person and people who are financially very well educated, sir. They also save and invest their money at right places. So, sir, I think going digital
If
is
they
the
have any
economy.
savings, only then.
Sir, I
If
think
most of
it's
the money is spent out,
yes,
then
sir.
where will they invest?
Sir, I think it's on the personal discretion to the person earning. However, sir, because as the economy goes digital, I think the perception of people about money is going to change, and people are going to save as much as they need, sir.
Right. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yes, you know, government sold Air India, the national flag carrier, to Tata. Why did they do it, and how is it working now? Handing
Sir,
over Air India to Tata, have we learned something?
Sir, one of the factors was that, sir, the Air India was not a profitable firm, and there were issues with its functioning and efficiency, sir. So, as we move ahead in the economy, the government is focusing more on the strategic sectors, to own the strategic sectors more, as it was pointed out in the budget of 2021-22, sir. And the government was withdrawing from other sectors like Air India. So, sir, as it was acquired by Tata, going ahead, sir, we are expecting that the airlines will function more efficiently, providing services again to the people, as well as since Tata is a very reputed firm of India, so it's expected that the Air India will also post good
But it
profits
has
for the
been
company.
over a year now, so is it, you think there is no regret?
Sir, I think it's too early to comment on this, as well as, sir, I think going ahead, we are going to see, sir, I'm hopeful that we're going to see positive changes in this investment, sir.
With positive change, you only mean profitability.
No, sir, I would like to differ on this. I mean that the government of India is also running other schemes like RCS Udan scheme, under which a lot of airlines are coming. So it will also extend cheaper flight rates
So you
for
think
the Indian
government should
citizens.
give up all this such company, government-owned company and corporations and PSUs, isn't it? And focus only on defense or strategic sector.
Sir, a blanket statement for all the PSUs, I think, won't be a very correct statement to use in this segment, sir. We can evaluate on case by case basis. If we have a profitable PSU which is earning profits for the government of India as well as extended its services, sir, I think that PSU can be run efficiently. Sir, however, the PSUs which are not giving profits to the government of India and rather are becoming a liability can be disinvested in or privatized, sir, as and when necessary, on a case by case basis, sir.
Okay, and don't you think that we should have ignored a report by Hindenburg, which is a private small foreign company? Why should we pay much attention to them? Should we not focus on our own report, our own understanding and analysis?
Sir, as far as the government institutions like RBI and SEBI are concerned, the reports like Hindenburg are of less relevance as compared to its own rules and laws that we have in the country. Sir, so I think these institutions should work on compliance of our own laws. Sir, however, since we know that the financial markets work on sentiment, and these reports they have a possibility to hurt these sentiments in the market, and that is what we are seeing right now, sir. So, however, the government, as far as the government of concerned, I believe, sir, they should.
So you think
focus on
Adani Group is on solid foundation? It's only the sentimental damage that we have so far.
On this, sir, that what the allegations that the reports have made of stock manipulation and accounting fraud, sir, in the company, sir. I think if until we have a conclusive evidence of it, until the evidence is there, sir, we cannot comment.
So tell
If
me,
there's a
if
fraud being done.
I'm a private investor,
Yes, sir.
I had few shares. Should I sell it now?
Sir, I'm sorry, I've not indulged myself in, so I cannot give you this advice.
No, but analysis-wise, the fact-based, what would be the fair thing to do?
Sir,
Or you think I should have sold 10 days back when the report came out?
Sir, if I was an active investor, then I would have an eye for such financial news, and if I expect the shares to fall, sir, I would sell these shares in the financial market.
Okay.
Sir, however, there's another flip side to it, that the shares are coming down, and just in case, because sir, it's a very big firm, they're expected to go up to maybe in next month or some few weeks. So some people may buy this at lower prices and gain some profits by selling at high price. So there are two aspects of it.
Okay, so if I have some cash now, I should go and buy.
Sir, I'm sorry, I cannot give you an advice on that.
Okay. Now, tell me my final question. We are celebrating 75 years of our independence.
Yes, sir.
Another 25 will be celebrating a century of our independence.
Yes, sir.
What India do you foresee by 2047? What is your vision of India in 2047?
Sir, may I take some seconds to recollect my thoughts?
Please.
Sir, the first thing that comes to my mind is education. So, because this is something that I see in 2047, if we have a more inclusive structure in education focused on the Indian regional languages, a better implementation of the NEP 2020, and sir, greater literacy rate in real terms in the country is something that, sir, I aspire for. So, apart from that, if I see the economic front, then I aspire for a country in 2047 which is uh, uh, I positively the largest economy of the world, or in the top economies that are there in the world. So apart from that, reducing inequality in the country is also one thing that I would wish to see in 2047. More equitable distribution of resources inside the country, sir. So apart from that, on health front,
In fact, we are going the other way around. The gap between rich and poor is increasing.
sir, as per the Oxfam reports, the gaps are increasing, sir. Sir, however, when this happens, then a lot of people are also pulled out of poverty. As sir, it was quoted even in the parliament that the rich may get richer, but the poor also get rich, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
You heard of in 1987, India was involved with Sri Lanka politically and militarily.
Yes, sir.
What was the issue and why it went wrong?
Sir, back then the issue was the insurgency that Sri Lanka has, the Tamil insurgency, sir, because Sri Lanka has a very large base of the Tamilian population, and they are persecuted within the country, and India was demanding giving them some sort of autonomy within the framework, sir. So, sir, there was a front called LTTE, which took a violent approach on this, and India sent a peacekeeping force there to solve the issue, sir. So, sir, what went wrong, I think, is in that is the vision that our foreign policy had with respect to sending the troops to another country, sir, because that was the first time that was done bilaterally, not under the United Nations, sir. It was sent by India. Sir,
Okay,
I think,
you got an idea, but what went wrong is you need to read up on that.
sir, I'll read about it.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Sir, you have given IFS as your number one
Yes,
service preference. Huh? Do you know anything about the world politics, international relations?
sir, I keep reading. I have interest on it.
Okay. My first question would be, if I ask you to compare the comfort level of Indian Muslims with the Pakistani Muslims, how would you react to it?
Sir, the comfort level of Indian Muslims as compared to Pakistani Muslims, sir, there's a huge difference in it. So, because when we consider India, then Indian Muslims, even sir, the whole Indian subcontinental Muslims are different from the Muslims around the world. Because there's a term that is used in sociology that the Muslims of Indian subcontinent are cultural Muslims, because they have taken up the culture of this subcontinent and has integrated it into their own religion. So as far as India is concerned, it's a secular nation, and India practices positive secularism. So Muslims have equal rights in the country. They're entitled to ensure their fundamental rights.
Okay.
So sir, I think that is the huge difference.
Okay.
with
Pakistan is in turmoil these days.
Yes, sir.
Economy is in a very bad shape.
Yes, sir.
And yesterday I was watching on the TV, a homegrown fundamentalist of Pakistan gave a clarion call that Pakistan must use or misuse its nuclear weapons and blackmail other country to extort money. Is it a safe thing to say? What is India's? Is not a matter of concern for India.
Sir, I feel it's a huge matter of concern because the non-state actors that are very much prevalent in Pakistan. And so post 1980s, Pakistan has used these actors as an offensive against India and other nations too. And so in that sense, being a nuclear enabled country, there's a huge danger of these nuclear weapons getting into hands of non-state actors. So I think it's a major concern. And also Pakistan has not announced its nuclear policy like India has a no first use policy, sir. So in taking these points in consideration, I think it's a cause of concern, sir, for every nation.
Okay. The live-in relationship concept has been given a clean chit by the Supreme Court. Is it permissible by the Muslim personal law?
Sir, it's not permissible under
Not
Muslim
permissible.
law.
Okay. Shall India ever be able to achieve uniform civil code?
Sir, as it is mentioned in Article 44, the directive principle of state policy of the Indian Constitution,
Yes.
sir, I am hopeful that there will be a day when India will achieve a uniform civil code. Sir, however, as the Law Commission report in 2018 also shows that the country is not ready yet for a UCC. So, sir, I think a better approach to move ahead is to reform and start bringing reforms within the community, sir.
What is the present status now? What is government doing about it?
Sir,
Do you
as
think
of now,
consultation with the stakeholders is necessary?
Sir, as of now, the state governments are taking some initiatives in this regard. And sir, the consultation with the stakeholders, the religious leaders, and the different bodies, I think is necessary so that we can reform the bodies. Sir, also, if you may allow, I want to add one more point to it. So when we consider tribal cultures, as we study in anthropology, they have a varied forms of marriages. And I think, sir, that is also something that we need to take into consideration. I mean,
One last question.
yes, sir.
We are having student unions in all the universities and all colleges. Should we not scrap it? Because they are all affiliated to political parties. Just very simple, brief reply.
Sir, I think we should not scrap it because we have seen very few, very enabled and good political leaders. They come out of the students' union, and if we work constructively with it, sir, I think it will be good for Indian politics as a whole, sir.
Good for Indian politics. Okay.
Sir, if we worked it constructively, sir.
Asad,
Thank you so much, sir.
how are you doing?
Sir, I'm good.
Asad, you're so bright and young.
Yes, ma'am.
Why do you think we should choose you and not anybody experienced? I don't think you will be able to handle the responsibilities of running a district. What is your opinion?
Ma'am, though I am bright and young as of now, as you said, thank you so much for that. Ma'am, I believe that after going through the process of writing this examination, I have gained some knowledge points as well as I know my country well. So going ahead, if I get proper training under the government of India, ma'am, I think I'll be able to do that, and I'm very hopeful for that.
Tell me how challenges of tribals in mainland India are different from Northeast India.
Ma'am, one of the factors that we see the difference in between the mainland and Northeast India is that when we go historically, then the mainland India never had this issue of the main issue that the mainland India had was about the land, the control of their own forests and their lands, ma'am. While we go to the Northeast, ma'am, one of the major issues was autonomy that they desire because, ma'am, there's a huge ethnic discontinuity when we consider the Northeastern tribes to the mainland tribals. So, ma'am, I think that is one of the factors that is difference between the Northeastern tribal movements and the mainland movements, ma'am.
Have you heard about PM Shri schools?
Ma'am, I have read it, but I'm not well versed in
It's
it.
perfectly all right. Asad, tell me, why do all the fugitives run to England? What is there in England that they want to hide in England?
Ma'am, one of the factors is that the asylum policy that they have, so they try to work in through that sometimes. That is not always true though. Ma'am, apart from that, the laws of the land that England follows, because there the parliament is supreme, ma'am. So the laws of the land that they follow and the extradition agreements that other countries try to come into with England with regards to their fugitives. I think they see it as a safe haven sometimes, but ma'am, they also use other countries. We have seen they go to countries in Africa So, ma'am, I think a lot of countries they see as a good destination to go to.
Okay, you're from Uttar Pradesh,
Yes,
and
ma'am.
Valentine's Day is coming. And Uttar Pradesh isn't famous for Romeo squad. Do you think we should have such a moral policing happening in a democracy?
Ma'am, when this moral policing is used as a violent outpost against two people consensually going out with each other or spending time with each other, I think it is completely wrong and against the law of the land. Ma'am, however, if we see such kind of moral policing that is waged against the eve teasing practices, which was initially it was idealized as that, ma'am.
Obviously, teasing is a crime.
So, ma'am, I think in that front,
But falling in love is not a crime, right?
yes, ma'am. And I think using it against that is not justified, ma'am.
Okay. Asad, we also see some women are demanding period leave. But if we give them period leave, we are going to lose a lot of efficiency and productivity at the workplaces. Because you see, 4-5 days in a month, they would be missing. So half of the workforce will not be there. Do you think we should grant period leave?
Ma'am, talking about the efficiency, I have a slight different view on it. Ma'am, when we consider a workplace, then diversity is something that is very important there. And when we consider diversity, then we have to have more inclusive workplaces with laws and policies that are inclusive to all the groups,
But
ma'am.
then women have been working without period leaves. So they can continue to do so. Why give them period leave separately?
Ma'am, because I think the changes take time to come, and we have seen a lot of changes that, like we have creche facilities there and companies are following that. Ma'am, we have the leaves for pregnancy. We have maternal leaves, ma'am. So I think going ahead, ma'am, this is also a very good direction where period leaves can be given to women so that they feel
Asad,
more
are you
included
a
in the
feminist?
workplace. Ma'am, I would say I am a feminist in a sense that being a feminist, I am an advocate for equal rights for everyone, ma'am.
Give me one example from your life where you have been a feminist, a real life situation.
Ma'am, if I may talk in brief, when I was working in Hero Motocorp, ma'am, the very first team that I worked with in the production department, ma'am, out of 52 people, 46 women were there. And this was the first time that we rolled out the model called HF Deluxe from a Hero Motocorp production line with the highest female percentage in our workforce, ma'am. And we enabled that through technological solutions, ma'am. So I believe, ma'am, at that point of time, as we use technology to make our factories and workplaces more inclusive, ma'am, that point of time, I think I was being a feminist to make that place more inclusive for women to work, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
All the best to you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
You will
Thank
do
you, sir.
very well. We are very confident of it.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Unacademy. Let's crack it.